So let's do the spec thing really quickly. It's super sleek, it's thin. The dimensions are 11 by 7 by 0.22. The weight is about 1.27 pounds out of the case, of course. So even with the large frame, it's super portable. You have, of course, Gorilla Glass on the front with an aluminum back and an aluminum frame. And of course, support for the mighty S Pen. And it also supports the new 9 millisecond low latency writing. So the S Pen actually feels like pen to paper. It feels like actually writing with a pen. But let's talk about one of the biggest things about this tablet, one of the best things it has going for it, and that's going to be the display, which is a Super AMOLED 120 Hz HDR10 Plus. Extremely beautiful display that takes up the majority of this tablet with the small borders around the corners, of course, so you can hold it without those borders. It would be tough to actually hold the tablet. The actual screen to body ratio though is about 84.6%. So you're getting a ton of beautiful screen on this thing. Now the screen itself is absolutely amazing. Surfing the internet, going in and out of applications, watching any kind of media you can think of, consuming it on the screen with the high refresh rate. It's snappy, it's fast, all of those buzzwords that people throw out there to make sure you know that just going in and out and navigating this tablet is extremely smooth and silky crisp. It's just a beautiful thing, and I really enjoy using the screen. Just the vivid nature of all the colors and the dynamicness of the screen really immerses you in whatever content you're enjoying at the time. So I can't stress how much I loved the screen on this tablet overall. Now the tablet itself is pretty snappy when you're performing major tasks. Any kind of task that I threw at it, from consuming media to browsing social media to taking notes, some light word processing, researching, dictating, you name it, this thing handled it fairly well. It has a Snapdragon 865 processor and an Adreno 650 GPU, which makes it pretty fast. But I'm not gonna lie, I think this is where the iPad kind of excels over every other tablet on the market, because while using this tablet, there were some scenarios where I found that the application that I was using or the game that I was playing performed slightly better on the iPad overall. There was some slowness, some hiccups in certain apps and certain games, and I don't attribute that to being a problem with the actual tablet itself. I think that slowness was a part of the application, and that brings me to one of the biggest downfalls of choosing an Android tablet over an iPad, is that the majority of developers or app developers or game developers, their development process usually runs iPad and then trickles down to everything else, because iPads and Apple is probably one of the biggest consumers of games and applications on the market. So you're usually getting applications that are ported from the iPad to the Android, and they're not fully optimized for the Android platform because they weren't created with the Android platform in mind. And I think that's where I ran into a lot of problems. Even though this tablet performed extremely well, was extremely snappy, and a beautiful display just really sunk me in, there were some applications that kicked me out because it just really wasn't designed for the tablet experience on an Android. Now, memory wise, I got the 128 gigabyte variant because I'm not made of money, and that one comes with actually 6 gigs of RAM, which is sufficient for what I do on my tablet. But you also have a 256 and 512 variant that both come with 8 gigs of RAM if you need a little bit more power, a little bit more processing. If you're going to be doing some heavy duty editing on this tablet, then it's definitely probably suggested you bump it up to that 8 gig option. Now you also have a dual camera setup, a 13 megapixel wide and a 5 megapixel ultra wide, you know, for people who actually use cameras on tablets for some weird reason. I haven't really tested the cameras on these tablets that much. I don't ever use cameras on tablets. Sometimes I pick up my iPad and I forget that it even has a camera. But the cameras here are pretty serviceable. I guess you can do 4K at 30 frames per second. It does support HDR. So if you're one of those people who do use a camera on a tablet, then you should be good to go. Now, sound quality wise, first I have to mention that this does not have a headphone jack. I think it's safe to say that the headphone jack is a thing of the past now. It does have 4 speakers tuned by AKG, and the speaker set it's actually not that bad.
expert.
When you're listening to anything from playing video games to watching videos to listening to music, I think the speaker set does kind of what it needs to do. It does sound a little bit tinny and hollow at times. It's not going to give you the most robust sound quality that you're looking for. For the serviceable portion of it, it does work fine if you just need to use it on the fly. It does support Bluetooth 5.0, so you can just pair a set of Bluetooth headsets to it, and I found the sound quality with wireless headsets to be serviceable with this tablet as well, with the Bluetooth 5.0 support, of course. And I do wish they had a headphone jack though, because I do sometimes find a wired connection with my headphones to just be a little bit better in the sound quality department than the Bluetooth. But either way, it does work as it's supposed to. Now, some of the honorary mentioned features I should just point out is it does have an in-display fingerprint scanner that works fairly well, similar to what you're going to see on the phones that are out now. All the Samsung phones and majority of Android phones have that in-display fingerprint scanner, so technology has been evolving. It works pretty well. It does, like I said at the beginning, support the S Pen with the low latency mode, so you're going to get that snappy feel, the ability to write without adjusting your handwriting. It feels like writing on a piece of paper with a natural pen. And the battery life for this thing is pretty good. I average about 6 to 7 hours of screen on time, and I'm not killing the battery. The battery charges extremely fast, so I don't believe no matter what you're throwing at this thing, if you're using it for a standard day, you should be able to get through a full day of work without worrying too much about the battery. And if you top it off in the morning before you go, you're going to be able to get through a full work day and come home with some battery to spare, consuming media and just going through the day completely. This battery never really let me down, so I definitely believe this is a great performing battery and a fully optimized tablet overall. Now, my overall consensus of this tablet is it's a fantastic piece of technology. I really love the screen. Like I said, it's probably one of the most beautiful screens you'll find on a tablet to date. You do get sufficient memory and RAM, and you do get a really impressive battery overall. The overall build quality, everything in this tablet is really great. The down part is really going to come down to the fact that you're in an Android tablet based operating system, and a lot of app creators and a lot of companies just don't program with Android in mind. They program for Apple first and then port over to Android, so you're going to experience some apps that just don't run as well as they normally would on an Apple operating system. If you can really just deal with those hiccups, the apps running just a little bit differently, maybe a little bit slower, and you seeing hiccups here and there, then this is a really adequate alternative to the iPad. If you're looking for a great Android tablet, it's going to be extremely serviceable. It's going to be a media consumption machine, and you're just going to absolutely love your day-to-day use of this tablet. I would definitely recommend it for someone who's looking for a tablet that doesn't necessarily need an iPad. Anyway, guys, I would love to know what you think of the tablet overall. Go ahead and comment in the comment section down below this video. Are you planning to buy one? Are you sticking with an iPad? Let me know in the comment section. And while you're down there, if you enjoyed the video at all, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe button, and share the video out, because it definitely helps the channel. And I'm going to throw up some of our other reviews over here. You can check them out now. And as always, make sure to stay safe out there. And until I see you guys next time, peace out.